Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reflections of Real Talk. My name is Andre. If you don't know me, I am a visually impaired college student who's trying to find his way in the world and also learn about you guys all in the process. Today, I'm having a special guest on the podcast. You may know her from other episodes in previous podcasts, and if you don't know her, she will introduce herself today. Her name is Jessica. She is very, very good at art and discovering new things, and she can tell you more about herself. So let's go take it away.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Uh, yeah, my name is Jessica, and yeah, I'm fluent art and passionate doing craft in the sun, like doing logos. And recently, I've been drawing and painting as well too. Yeah, and I'm also a college student.
If you guys like art, you like drawing, you like anything that has to do with media, whether physical or virtual. Jessica is a longtime friend of the podcast, and she's also a very good artist. And so, if you're interested in her stuff, that'll be shown at the end of the podcast. So today, I would like to talk about a topic that I haven't really thought about for a long time. Um, it's about pets and the benefits of pets. This is an important episode for me because I had a pet maybe like 3 years ago, and it was a beta fish, and it lasted for about roughly a year, possibly almost 2 years, and it died. That beta fish was very, very special to me because whenever I went home, it knew I was there. It swam up to where I was, and whenever I would put my hand next to the tank, it recognized my hand. I would purposely move my finger around the tank, and it would follow my finger. It was almost like I was playing invisible fetch with the fish. And that was cool for me because whether I came home in a good mood or a bad mood, or I had something go on that day, that pet was always there, and that's the companionship you get with having a pet. Uh, Jessica, what about for you? I'm aware you have a couple of pets you've had, and what was your experience like with pets?
Well, yeah, I also have very fishes too, like before, and now I have birds, and I actually in total have five birds, but for now I just have one, and she actually making noises right now. But yeah, I have one. It's a cockatiel, the one, and she's very. I mean, for me, she's like part of our family because in a way she's always there, and like she's always there when we have good and bad mood, and she can always make our day. In these days that we don't feel like doing something, or especially me like these days, I don't feel like getting up, but I just get up just to feed her and to take care of her. And yeah,
And
that's
so if you guys are wondering, that's absolutely not a recording. I don't have recording equipment here that has different animal sounds. That's really her bird. Um, so
yeah,
if you guys want a real experience of a bird, here you go. Um, I
yeah,
can hear
she's
it even over here, and we're like miles apart.
yeah, she's kind of fussy today.
Yeah, so even with pets, like yeah, sometimes they're not in the best mood. Sometimes they get sick. They have needs just like humans, and it's like raising a kid in a way. And
Yeah,
I don't have experience with that either. But at the end of the day, practice makes perfect, and you're still taking care of a living creature.
yeah,
And the other thing, so pets can benefit people in like many different ways. Like I'll go back to my fish example. As I mentioned before, when I had the fish, it was there whenever I wanted it to be there or not. I knew when I woke up that morning, I knew had to take care of the fish. I knew I had to feed him. I knew at the end of the week I had to take out 10% of the water from the tank in order to do water changes. I know that days where like I felt lonely and by myself, that pet was always there. I've had other pets in the past as well. I had goldfish, I had a tadpole. Actually, all of the siblings in our house had a tadpole, and mine was the only one that survived and turned into a frog. And unfortunately, I had to release it into the wild. And yeah, so I've had a frog. I also just recently had a frog, but unfortunately, it only lasted one day. And ever since then, I didn't get another pet since then. But yeah, pets are like family.
Yeah.
To some people, it may be like a creature or animal, but when you're around something or someone for a very long time, you get really, really close to them, and that's kind of what I felt with my fish. Has it been the same for you with your bird or five birds, as you mentioned?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because in a way it distress you too, and in a way you have responsibility, and it's good because it helps you so you could be responsible, and it 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 makes you day, and this days is not every day is a good day, but with days like it less you the stress, and it's not as bad. It turned out to be some days the bad days turn out to be fine at the end of them. And I mean, I personally don't have cats like have, but I have people and my close friends. They have cats, and at the beginnings, like I was not crazy about cats, but at the like now, when I go to my friend's house, I see the cats, and like I I see them, and I kind of play with them, or they play with me, and sometimes I even like in our neighborhood, we have like a lot of street cats, and this past days I actually been feeding the street cats because I feel bad for the
Hmm.
cats that don't have food. So I've been doing that, and I've been like used to them in a way.
You've been feeding street cats? What's that like? I've never done that before. Is it the same like
Like
feeding any other cat? You just leave food out for them?
yeah, you just kind of leave food out them, and you just have to kind of be careful not to get too just in case. But you just feed them food and feed them water, and just kind of leave it out there. And actually, today they be in our backyard, so I guess they kind of get used to people. They don't really run away like at the beginning, but it's usually just feeding them. And actually, that's how my best friend got Mosiho, because she actually kind of helps cats in a way because she got her cats, mostly the all her cats, uh, she got it from that way. She got it from the street, and she kind of kept it. Well, nowadays she don't really keep as much because she don't have so much space, but I mean, she used to just before she used to feed the cat and keep it for herself, or sometimes she just feed the cats. So I kind of got it from her because she used to do it. So I kind of got it from her helping the cats. And I don't know the most, but mostly cats. That's that's why it's around. I will just a lot of cats like that down my way.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool. So if you guys ever go to the park or you go outside and you see people feeding the birds, especially to the kids that are young, don't scare the birds away. That's stuff I used to do when I was little too. I used to run and scare birds all the time, and I don't know why. It was just I don't know, but I had a lot of energy. But
yeah.
it's pretty cool to uh being able to feed cats because it also teaches us a lesson that you never know who or what is struggling, and just like humans, cats could become homeless as well and hungry as well, and that's a great gesture. I also think that there are also many benefits to having pets, like some people have pets and have different medical conditions like anxiety or some form of uh,
Yes.
disability, and a lot of people have service animals to help them deal with their condition. They also have like pets that have rescued people in the past. There are plenty of stories around the world that how dogs rescued their owners, cats, birds. So having animals such as pets definitely help like people, especially for people like myself and others who are visually impaired or maybe blind. We can
Mhm.
also get guide dogs, and they help us in navigating our world as well. Yes, we have mobility canes, but using a guide dog, not only will it help visually impaired people get to where they have to go safely, but they also, when they're not working and not on harness, they become a regular dog. So those are my benefits of having pets. So what was it like for you? How have your pets benefited you?
Um, I mean, it has helped me because, like, before I used to have really bad depression, and it has helped me because these days I do feel like that. But when I go see my bird, the bird I have now, and I play around with her, it kind of gets my stress out and depression. It actually went down, and and when I'm saying, it makes me kind of glad to see her. And when I go to my friends' house to see the cats too, because it's like I'm kind of used to the cats and any animal really out there. When I just go walking and I just see the birds out there and hear the sound from the birds, and it really helps me out.
Wow, so that's
Mhm.
pretty incredible. So you having a pet actually helped with your depression. So to a lot of all these pharmaceutical companies and all these other companies that try to get people to take medication for their depression and anxiety, there are other options available, especially if you're not comfortable taking pharmaceutical drugs. So that's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah,
I kind of
that's
felt that
right.
way too with my fish too. And not only do they help with like depression, but like they also help with like other things too. Like so you might have an issue with something and coming home and seeing a pet happy to see you, like if you get like a dog or a cat or even a fish, like any pet that's happy to see you, it could actually change your whole mood around. I noticed that even with me. Like there are times where I would come home from school and I had homework to do and I didn't feel like doing my homework. And having a pet made me feel better about doing it. So there are definitely a lot of benefits to having pets.
Yeah,
Is it the same
and
for you?
as much as you see like pets, um, they do better on. They don't obviously they don't talk us like human, but they do better showing the feelings than humans sometimes. So it's like they they show affection more than a human can or can show it to a human. Like they they do go at it, showing affection and love and showing when they don't want to be bothered too.
Yeah, pets can definitely be moody, and I notice, especially with people with certain pets. I know some people will dress their pets up in like shirts, sweaters, shoes. I mean, I was watching a show on TV, and I remember seeing what was it, America's Funniest Home Videos, and there was this lady who dressed up her dog in like shoes, shirts, and she almost made it look like a human being. I was afraid for a second. I was like, wait, are we gonna have to start getting on our four legs too? When all I have is two legs and a hand? So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, people really love their pets, and pets are pretty important. So the next time you see anybody with a pet, um, understand that pets are not just animals; they're extensions of people. They're their families. When you
Yeah,
hear human beings lose a pet, it's the same as losing a sibling. It could feel just as bad, you know.
yeah, it's just a little more than that. I mean, the same, but sometimes some are so close to the pets, sometimes it's a little worse. And
Oh, he
sorry,
starts a little worse. Yeah.
sorry for my person. I think she wants to sleep.
Well, look, guys, this is a great example as to the episode today. So her bird is trying to communicate something to her right now, to our listeners. See how important pets are? And so that's one of the examples how important pets can be. And I encourage anybody who wants to get a pet, regardless of whatever it is, as long as they're able to take care of it, and get a
Yeah,
pet. And by all means, people should
responsible.
take care of their pets. That's another thing. Pets are not here to just be taken
Mm,
advantage of and then just abandoned. That's happening to a lot of pets nowadays too. You see it
yeah.
a lot in like a
Some,
lot of places have that too.
like I see some owners, especially with dogs, like that's the most common. And with the when they go for walks, I see owners sometimes just be looking at their phone and they just walk around the dog, or they don't really like pay attention to the dog, and they just be walking and they just don't really kind of play with them. Or they take them out like now they like on the heat, and when it's so hot out there, they take out the poor random one. They even take water for them. So it's like little things sometimes like that. If you have a pet, you should just be really. I'm not saying not look at your phone, but I'm saying like if you go out there, you have to play with dog, and you have to know how to be careful when to take out, or when you're going to take out this water for them too. Because at the end of the day, they do feel what humans feel too. And you have to be responsible, because if you have a pet, you cannot have it for a few and then want to give it back. Cannot do
That's
that.
a waste of time. What's the point of going through the process of adopting it and doing all the stuff to then return it?
Yeah,
That's a shame.
and you have to know where to have a decent. It depends on the type of pet, but for the most, especially when you have dogs and cats, and even if you have a lot of kind of birds, you have to have a decent spot space for the animal too, because they have to kind of run around, especially if it's a dog. If especially if it's big or small, you have to have decent space. You cannot keep a dog if you know you don't have enough space. Or if you don't have enough time and you're not going to be there, it's not really good to have an animal. Or at least you could get two if you know you're not going to be around. Let's get more than one. But if you know you're not going to be really around, it's not really a good idea to get a pet. So you have to kind of know when it's a good time to buy a pet, and you have to know you want to be around and be responsible.
Well, yeah, we could definitely even take it a step further. Before someone gets a pet, they could research it. All this time that they're spending on their phones, they could use that same energy to research how to care for the pet. They can call the pet store. They can look up the breed of the animal. There are a lot of things that they can do before purchasing a pet, and a lot of pets would be saved. You wouldn't have to deal with a lot of animals going to the vet. You won't have to deal with a lot of animals being euthanized or put to sleep. And there are a lot of things that could be prevented if people took the extra step to care for their animals as much as they care for their cars or everything else that they own. And pets are just as important too. We turned these animals into pets. We domesticated them and turned them into pets. So I think it's only fair that we do our part and try to treat every animal and every person with dignity and respect. And hopefully, by everyone listening to this podcast, you all can walk away with a different perspective on what it means to not only have a pet, but what it means to respect animals and human beings. So I'd like to thank you, Jessica, for taking your time out of the day to come on this podcast. I know this was a very touchy subject for a lot of people because we've all had pets and we know what it's like for them to be mistreated. So, do you have any final words before this episode concludes, and then I'll let them know where to find you?
Mhm. But if you're thinking to get pet, just have everything on mind, and it's best to sometimes they say it's best to get pets from shelters because there's a lot of animals out there would that need a home. So it's better to adopt than kind of buying from the pet shop, but it's really up to you. But I would say to start either one. It's good to have a animal, a pet, and be responsible on having one too. And that's it. Thank you.
So if you guys don't remember from the beginning of the episode, her name is Jessica. She has a lot of art projects, and she is definitely interested in art. So her information will be provided in about a second. And that's actually a really good point. When you're purchasing or adopting an animal, try to find a reputable place to get the animal. You don't want to just get it off the street because you don't know what diseases it has, and you don't know what their lifestyle has been, and there have been a lot of cases where dogs and other animals have been weary and aggressive from people because of how they were treated. So you want to make sure whatever animal you get has been cared for and they have the necessary documents and information before you get the pet. That way, they know the pet's going to a safe home and you get a healthy pet.
Yeah.
So again, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this podcast, and thank you, Jessica. You can provide your information.
Uh, yeah. But oh, it's Jessica. I mean, the Jessie. I mean Jessie for the page. Sorry.
And so if you guys don't know, she was providing her Instagram. So if you want to find out more about her
Yeah.
artwork and her art skills, you can find it at her Instagram. If you guys are interested in this podcast, you can continue to subscribe and please share it with your friends. The more people that listen, the better this podcast gets. The more I can connect with you guys and come up with new topics. And remember, everybody's voice has power, and everybody has the right to be free and speak on what they want to speak about. So, again, thank you everyone for listening to this episode. My name is Andre, and thank you again.